actions speak much louder than words. You don't tell me that you love me and then not give a fuck when I'm trying to tell you you hurt my feelings. You don't get to tell me that you would do anything for me. I completely understand. And then as soon as I'm like, hey, walking on eggshells over here. Earlier you hurt my feelings. Oh my God, here we go again. That's not fucking love. Love is not selfish. Love doesn't make excuses. Love always chooses the other person. Hi everyone, Janna here. Thanks for tuning in to Revive with Janna. I got to talk about excuses today. The older I get, really, I don't know if it's age or just once you go through a lot of healing, and you do the inner work, you just get tired of the bullshit, the mediocrity, the half-ass, the excuses, and you constantly should be evolving, constantly should be leveling up, becoming a better person, breaking through new levels, right? Just like when you play a video game. But some of us get stuck playing that video game of life and we just want to stay at the same level. We don't ever want to learn. We just want to keep running into fucking walls. And, me personally, I like to beat that level, learn how to beat it, and move the fuck up or level up. So you can tell this subject is, a little sensitive to me. It's just been one of those weeks. And no matter how healed your mindset is, it doesn't mean you don't have shitty weeks. It doesn't mean you don't get frustrated. It's just you internalize it differently. It doesn't weigh you down and you have an excuse to be, an asshole. Like, that's not what happens. Having a healed mindset and doing the inner work, it can be very, very lonely sometimes because you can just easily tell when other people haven't done the work. And sometimes it's people really close to us. In a relationship, that's friendship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, relationships, family, don't care. You get the drift. People you love. When you grow and evolve, it doesn't mean that they're doing it at the same time or the same rate. And you got to be patient with one another. But what I do expect, and that's a strong word, maybe I need to say what I do need is I at least need the people in my life to at least grow and evolve. And if it's not at the same rate as me or my rate's not the same as theirs, that's fine. It's just there's a certain understanding that comes along when two people have done a lot of inner work. The things that I see in people, and I don't look down upon people at all, so don't fucking twist that shit. The things that I see in people now after going through Lyme disease, choosing to overcome Lyme disease, after suffering the ultimate betrayal and heartbreak in a 14-something year marriage and choosing to heal and put myself back together and move the fuck on. Once you do that, man, it's you see things that you never would have seen without it. So like I've said before, Lyme disease was part of my path, but I chose to get over it. We have free will. So just because I had Lyme disease doesn't mean that was just part of my destiny was to get Lyme disease and heal. No, Lyme disease was part of my destiny. Choosing to heal was my choice. I could have chosen to stay a victim like many do. Being married to a narcissistic person, not knowing it, and then suffering from the ultimate betrayal and lies and heartbreak and getting a divorce was always part of my plan in life that the universe had for me. How I got through it and choosing to was up to me. Get my drift? Cool. And what does it have to do with excuses? It has to do a lot with excuses because people that have done the inner work and have healed, they don't make excuses. Now, I'm not talking about an excuse as to like, oh, this is why I'm 5 minutes late. This is why we can't come. An excuse doesn't mean it's a lie in those situations. Okay? I'm referring to excuses that you give or that people give because They don't want to face the fucking music. I'm talking about the excuses that people dish out because they don't ever want to take responsibility. I'm talking about the excuses that insecure, emotionally immature people give out because they will never, ever, ever think that maybe it was just them. They're too sensitive to take the heat. They're too sensitive to admit when they're wrong because it just makes them miserable, and it just reminds them too much why they don't like to be blamed or caught or seen. I've had a lot of creative downloads this week. I was actually supposed to be in Crete in Greece with my husband celebrating our 1-year wedding anniversary, but when we got to the airport in New York, they told him he could not fly because his passport expired in 40 days. Well, we didn't know that if it's 90 days or less from your trip to, fly international, you can't go. And we were hoping that within a day or two we'd be able to leave, but that's just not how it worked out, right? And it is, as much as that was like a punch in the gut, and financially, didn't get everything back. I could have chosen to be really upset about it, the money lost. And as frustrated as it was, and as interesting as those 3.5 days were in New York, I just know that I knew that there was a reason for it, right? And there was, I had a family member that was not feeling well, and then I've had the most absolutely mind blowing, creative, intuitive downloads. My kids are with their father this week, and so the things that have come to me are just are mind blowing. I say that because I'm gonna read some of the stuff that I came up with, and this is what brought me to talk about excuses today. No more excuses. No one needs to join you to take some blame because you cannot emotionally deal with taking 100% of it ever. You don't need to point out the other's faults so that you don't have to face your own by yourself. And you need to stop being so desperate trying to figure out how you can make yourself just a little bit of a victim. So once again, you don't have to face yourself by yourself. Grow the fuck up. Look in the mirror and start owning your shit. All of it. Until you do, you will never be able to have a real, true, mature relationship, because those that have done the inner work will make you feel even more insecure, and your emotional immaturity will turn them off. Step up or step out. Now, I wrote that earlier today. It came to me and it poured out. And so I wanted to read it off my Word document because how I wrote it was just absolutely perfect. There was nothing that needed to be taken away or added. And I wanted to deliver that message. I want you to think about it for a minute. Anytime someone comes to you that you love, and they love you, and they're, I'm not talking about someone being rude, accusing you of shit you didn't do. Come on, grow up. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about someone says, hey, so the other day, I kind of got my feelings hurt, or hey, the other day, when you did this this is how it made me feel. If someone starts saying those sentences to you and the reply back is, oh my God, here we go. Or if there's an eye roll from the person that's receiving the message, or or any sort of, whatever that is, melting, I don't fucking know. If there's any sort of resistance towards listening to a person that you fucking love, that loves you, and they're clearly trying to tell you because they love you and they want to be in that relationship or friendship, and they want the person that kind of hurt them a little bit to make it better because they know or think you love them. Why wouldn't you want to make them feel better, right? All right, stay with me. So once again, here we go. So, the other day, what you did, it kind of just made me feel da, 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 da. something not good. Hey, the other day, it kind of hurt my feelings. And then someone or you reply back with like, oh my God, like, can you just let anything go? Like, seriously? Do you have to talk about every little thing? Here we go. If you do any of that shit, please shut the fuck up. That is not a response from a mature, emotionally mature person who gives a shit. So you can think and say what you want, but if you give a shit about that person that you fucking hurt, unbeknownst to you, and I don't give a shit, don't even say, well, I wasn't trying to. Oh, I hate that one. Woo, that one really gets me. Yeah, well, you did. So, mission failed. Apparently you weren't trying to hurt my feelings, but you did. If your initial response and reaction is anything other than, I am so sorry, I didn't realize that, like, I'll never do it again, and I never meant to hurt you. If your response is anything other than that, you are given an excuse. Why? Because of what I read. You're given an excuse because you don't want to have to face the fucking music by yourself. You're given an excuse because you don't like to be the only one wrong. You care more about your immature feelings from a wounded part of fucking childhood than you care about the fact that that wound from fucking 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago just hurt someone you love. Let me sit with that one for a second. I'm not ranting or raving today or complaining or nagging or bitching. I'm telling you straight up what I'm talking about when I say no more fucking excuses. You have to decide what you care more about, defending your fucking immature self or protecting the person, the one you love, and defending them. I will tell you this. When you defend yourself, you're going to be by yourself. What? When you defend yourself, you are selfish. When you defend yourself, instead of caring about the other person, you're going to be by yourself. Is that clear? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me rephrase that. If the person that is trying to tell you that, hey, you hurt my feelings, if that person is emotionally mature, which they probably are, if they're trying to talk to you like an adult, that person will never, ever, ever say and put up with that shit. That's like me right here. I would probably have put up with it a long time ago. Fuck, I did. But not anymore. No. It's not being hardcore or impatient. It is called fucking boundaries. It's called know your fucking worth, self-respect. And you can probably hear my frustration and my passion on this topic. It's really been near and dear to me this week. It has worn me thin because for way too long in my life, I've been the person that tried to tell somebody something because I cared and I thought they did. And I was met with resistance. I was met with the excuses. And frankly, actions speak much louder than words. You don't tell me that you love me and then not give a fuck when I'm trying to tell you you hurt my feelings. You don't get to tell me that you would do anything for me. I completely understand. And then as soon as I'm like, hey, walking on eggshells over here. Earlier you hurt my feelings. Oh my God, here we go again. That's not fucking love. Love is not selfish. Love doesn't make excuses. Love always chooses the other person. I just had a revelation when I said love always chooses the other person. And I'm going to end it with this. Love always chooses who they love and they care the most about. So if you find yourself always choosing yourself because you need to defend yourself, I'm not talking about choosing yourself like, yeah, I'm a number one fan. I'm not talking about that. If when someone you love, if you're in a tense situation or an argument or a fight with someone that you love, family, partner, friend, whatever, and you don't give a shit enough to listen to them to understand, let me tell you something else real fast. I got to interrupt myself. There's two types of listening. This first type is probably my worst pet peeve. The first type is when people say, I'm listening. No, you're listening to fucking defend yourself. You're listening because you want to defend yourself. You are not listening to fucking understand because you give a shit. The number 2 type of listening is the one that we are supposed to do. That's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. The other type of listening is listening to fucking understand. That's a big one. When you start to talk to someone, you want to know how you know if they're listening. Are they scrolling on their phone while you're talking? Are they looking at you? Or are they looking, oh, well, what's the score on the game? Okay. Or are they going, all right, yeah. Are they getting uncomfortable moving and doing their breathing work just so you know that, I didn't like that. Really? You're going to say that? Fuck all that shit. I can't stand being around people like that. I can't. Sorry. Grow the fuck up. So I'm going to end it right here. When someone's talking, if you don't want to listen to understand, just say, I'm not interested. And then maybe you should also say, hey, I love myself more than I love you because I'm selfish and I don't give a shit what you have to say. Because I'll be damned if anybody's going to ever tell me I did something wrong, because I am an emotionally immature person and I need to defend myself constantly. And you know what? Do it by yourself and see how much fun that is. Come on, guys. Be honest. Take responsibility. Take accountability. If you love someone, fucking show it. If you don't want to lose that person, you damn well better listen and not make excuses. And you better show it. All right. Love you all. Let me know what you thought about this episode and if you have any questions.